I call Melissa Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to take a short call on this important bill introduced by the Commerce and Consumer Affairs Minister, Honourable Paul Goldsmith. Before I get on, I'd like to make a comment that Mr. Goldsmith, Honourable Goldsmith, actually works incredibly hard supporting commerce and the consumer needs of New Zealand, and I would like to take a moment to say thank you to him. But he's sitting right next to me, so some people might actually mistake that I have to say that because he's sitting next to me. But I'd like to commend the Speaker who just took his seat. I'd like to thank him for his compliments for my chairmanship of the Commerce Select Committee, and I have to say that I have also enjoyed his attendance at Commerce Committee from time to time on bills that he has specific interest in. Very much, sir. And I look forward to your attendance tomorrow, Mr. Cosgrove. Mr. Speaker, the Trade Anti-Dumping and Countervailing Duties Amendment Bill seeks to introduce public interest as the Minister has test into the current anti-dumping and countervailing duties regime, which the Minister and the Honourable Mr. Cosgrove has also actually spoken about. Here in New Zealand, goods are considered to have been dumped if the export price into our country is in fact less than the price the goods are sold for in the domestic market of the exporting country. For example, New Zealanders love whiteware that have been imported because we can get it at much cheaper price in some brands, and I might actually quote that sometimes Korean manufactured products like Samsung fridges and whiteware could potentially come in cheaper. And if in fact the Korean government is providing Samsung, for example, I'm not saying they are, for example, if they provide a subsidy to Samsung to export to New Zealand at a much lower rate, then the manufacturers in New Zealand should be worried that we have a situation where we cannot compete with those products that are actually being dumped or actually are getting subsidies from those countries. So we want a marketplace that is actually fair, where our manufacturers and our exporters and producers can in fact compete with those overseas manufacturers and exporters. And I think this bill is actually very important, sir. The government, of course, has been making excellent inroads into growth of better business and trade, supporting more New Zealand companies to be able to engage in international businesses, to buy more goods, cheaper goods and better quality goods from different parts of the globe at competitive prices. And all of the FTA negotiations and the agreements that we've actually signed actually goes towards that promotion, sir. And we also have the obligations and responsibilities to the World Trade Organization, where it is reflected that these law changes that we're actually making is important due to our standing as a good faith trading partner to so many other countries around the world. So New Zealand, of course, was one of the founding members of the WTO, and former Prime Minister and Ambassador, the Right Honourable Mike Moore, served as its Director General from 1999 to 2002, sir. Such links are important to New Zealand trade and to New Zealand consumer who want assurance that we are giving them the best possible deal in regulation and also in consumer awareness and, I guess, consumer prices. We want cheaper prices, but we want to make sure that whatever is actually coming into the country is not pushing our own producers at risk either. But if, in fact, those products that we may import is in the best interest of the consumers, this bill might actually consider best public interest issues, and I think it will actually deal with those worries. A customers first government, as my colleague Brett Hudson actually says. So National's plan is to help businesses thrive while protecting consumers, an admirable plan we took into the 2014 election and that we have consistently delivered. on and will continue to deliver going into the 2017 year. So small businesses are in fact the backbone of our economy and make up about 97% of businesses in New Zealand, and they too are in fact consumers. And in this public interest test that we will be implementing, they too are in fact the public interest that we should actually consider as well. So I think this is a great bill, sir, and I look forward to the submissions in the Commerce Select Committee and having serious discussions with my opposition members as well as the government members. I commend this bill to the House.
Dr.